Manchester United have finally announced the signing on a 5-year contract, plus an option for a further 12 months.
I think, look, we know about the interest in the Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba. They haven't made any official contact club to club yet. That's because, as James was mentioning there, the focus has been on sales. The focus has been on sales before the Šeško deal and after. And initially we thought, right, they need to sell before they can bring Šeško in. The messaging has changed slightly in that they need assurances before the end of the window that some sales are going to happen, because you can't dictate the timing of when a player is going to become available. So, for example, the Šeško deal presented itself at that time, and just because United hadn't made any sales before that Šeško deal aside of the Rashford deal, they knew they had to do that deal then, because in the background they know that they're working on these sales already. But it's understood that if a market opportunity does present itself with Carlos Baleba, United want to be in a position where they can act on it. Now, as I mentioned, sales, yes, but having that assurance that those sales are going to come at some point in this window. Having said all of that, this is Brighton we're talking about, and immediately this is going to be a very, 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 that's 4 verys, difficult deal to do.
I struggle to see this deal happening. I really do.
Brighton don't want to sell. They've got no intention of selling, and they are, more significantly, under no pressure to sell. That's because Baleba's got 3 years left on his contract. They've got an option for a further year, and they probably look at Baleba as making more progress at this stage of his career than Moises Caicedo had done when he was at Brighton. Moises Caicedo ended up going for £115 million to Chelsea. Brighton will probably start valuing Baleba in and around that figure, you would think. So with him having 3 years left on his contract still, going to be very, very hard.
Absolutely. Well, now, so Benjamin Šeško is in. What does that mean for Rasmus Højlund, Dharmesh?
It's not good news if he wants to stay at Manchester United. AC Milan have held positive talks with Manchester United over the signing of Rasmus Højlund. As yet, no agreement between the clubs. Now, significantly, we're told that Højlund himself has yet to decide if Milan is the right place for him to move to. And as a result of that, while these talks are going on between the two clubs, Milan are now talking to Højlund's representatives as well, just to find out that the player definitely does want to join. Because there's no point Milan completing a deal over the next week or two and spending all of that time trying to get Rasmus Højlund if at the end of that agreement he says, actually, I don't want to come. They need to know that he's going to come for them to advance on those talks with Manchester United. As far as Milan are concerned, their preference is to have a season-long loan plus an option to buy at the end of the season. Manchester United, we know, he's now one of those players who they are listening to offers for, would prefer a permanent deal or at least a permanent element attached to the loan. Now, they would consider bids of around £40 million. That can come in 2 forms. The permanent deal straight away, here's £40 million, or a deal that's worth £40 million, away you go. You're no longer a Manchester United player. Or there's a loan fee involved for the season, which would be about £5 or £6 million, you would think, followed by an option price that they would pay in the summer, next summer, of around £35 or £34 million, hence getting them up to that £40 million. So sure, it is still one that is up in the air at the moment, but I think it's going to be dictated by Rasmus Højlund. We're talking about Mark Gahey before, holding the cards and he can do what he wants. Manchester United can say till they're blue to him, you're not going to get game time, but it's going to be up to him whether he wants to move or not.
Yeah, he knows they don't want him. He's got to go, surely. James, we think Højlund's going to go. We've been speaking about all the others who are going for the exits. Any developments today?
These players have been given a long period of time to try and explore moves away from Old Trafford, but so far it's only Marcus Rashford who's been able to successfully find his way out of Old Trafford. He's moved to Barcelona on loan until the end of the season. Alejandro Garnacho, Tiro Malacia, Jadon Sancho, Anthony still exploring moves away. A bit of an update when it comes to Jadon Sancho. There's been plenty of interest in him this summer, nothing concrete, but Besiktas, the latest club to have shown an interest in signing Sancho. The club's president is quoted as saying they will do their best to sign him if Sancho wants to join. And what we've seen back on the back of this is that Besiktas fans, now they see that Sancho is a target, have taken to social media to convince Sancho to join them. They've left more than 5 million comments under his most recent Instagram post. He won't have not seen that, can he? You can't avoid that. Come to Besiktas. Come to Besiktas at Sancho. Let's see what happens here. There's no concrete offer there right now. But what this would do if he joined Besiktas, it would end quite an unsavoury chapter at Manchester United, which actually started with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who signed him in 2021 for around £72 million from Borussia Dortmund. He is now the manager of Besiktas. And how much would Manchester United love it if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in with a decent offer to get Jadon Sancho off the wage bill, get a fee from him, because it has been a really difficult chapter for Jadon Sancho and Manchester United. It's not worked out for a number of different reasons. Borussia Dortmund remain interested in signing him again. There's no agreement yet with the club or the player. Clubs in Italy and Saudi Arabia have also looked at the move. You'd think there would have to be a compromise from Jadon Sancho when it comes to wages for any permanent move. In terms of the other deals, just quickly, Alejandro Garnacho, United are expecting Chelsea to come in with a formal offer. We know United want around £50 million. Chelsea probably don't want to pay that much. And Real Betis are finding it difficult at the moment to get the finances to try and sign Anthony permanently. Had a very successful second half of last season on loan at Real Betis. I think they'd like us to do a loan deal. United really want to do a permanent one.